clinging to control. It's only reducing your purpose. Staying open allows for its expansion. Hello, party people. What is up? Happy Saturday and welcome to our daily ritual. My name is Reese and I am with the Cohere Collective, and our daily ritual is a daily ritual that provides scaffolding for you to create coherence in your everyday life, to build it on top of. Today, we are focusing on the sixth pillar of coherence, which is purpose, that manifests as creativity. This is an offered intention, but of course, if there is anything else that you are working on or would like to call into today's session, please do so. To get us started, I am going to light some sage just to cleanse the shared space. And it smells nice and the smoke looks cool. I do always like seeing, like when I'm editing and it gets really smoky, I'm like, ooh, it looks so cool with the smoke. But as I start cleansing the space, I invite you to close your eyes or soften your gaze and begin to deepen your breath. As this breath deepens, drop in to the present moment and drop back into your body. What does that feel like when you drop into your body? Do you feel that in any specific point in your body? Does it feel different in the mind as a quality? And as you notice, just continue to take these deep breaths. And if anything tense or sticky, physical or non-physical, comes up, send the breath there, along with a little love. And know that this time is for you. Whatever you need during these next few minutes, take it. This is for you. Here in a second, I'm going to invite you to take a deep breath with me, and if that feels good for you to do, I want you to make it the deepest breath of the day so far. Okay. Whenever you're ready, take that deep breath in. And keep going, keep expanding, and exhale. And tune into the collective, to everyone that is joining us across space and time, sharing this breath and sharing this ritual. Slowly allow your breathing to come back to a normal rhythm. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes. Okay. Happy Saturday, everyone. I am going to start shuffling our cards for today, and as I do so, I invite you to call back in this intention of purpose that manifests as creativity and anything else you may have called into the session today or would like to call in now as an intention or focus. Ooh, our card today is the Emperor in reverse. And the Emperor is kind of exactly what you think it would look like. A wise old man with a long white beard sitting on a throne with armor and rich red robes, with a staff in one hand and one of those spheres in the other hand. I forget what those are called, but I know they use them in crowning ceremonies in England. And they're supposed to represent, it's something religious and biblical, but I'm forgetting. Actually, I want to look that up. I feel like that's important. One moment. So in traditional crowning ceremonies, the orb represents, because normally it has the cross on top, the Christian world and the domination over Christian worlds, and that this ruler is ordained by God. The staff similarly represents, dominating power, rule, all of these good things. The thing I want to call attention to about these symbols in the tarot is that the staff here looks very much like the symbol of Isis. It always has to me. Isis is in Greek a minor goddess of the rainbow as well as communication, but her origins as an Egyptian goddess is the goddess of magic, of the divine, but her entity was actually first founded in Cometian traditions. And in Cometian traditions, she is very much the Mother Mary figure. She gives birth to Horus without needing to defile herself. She very much represents this idea of like the Mother Mary creating something out of nothing. That is Isis, the divine magician, feminine. And in the Emperor card, even though it is this sphere, it's always looked like a fruit to me. Like there's a little stem on top, and I don't know why it looks like that to me, but it always has. It doesn't look like a cross on top to me. So regardless, with these symbols being, yes, religious in nature, but also ancient and mythological, we can understand the Emperor as a ruler, right, over these divine things, wielding the staff of the divine feminine creator along with this power of dominion over the world. And even if we do take into consideration this idea that it looks like a fruit, like the fruits of something, right? Like that's actually a very Christian thought, like judge something based on its fruits, based on what it produces. And Isis, her fruits are creating something out of nothing, right? What is produced here? To get it in reverse is a feeling of a lack of control over creation. Your purpose is not meant to be controlled. In Elizabeth Gilbert's book, Big Magic, which is a masterpiece, I highly recommend you read it. I will link it down below. She discusses how in ancient times, they did not view an artist or a writer or a creator or anyone like this as being a genius. They regarded them as having a genius. And a genius was this metaphysical entity, this angelic daemon kind of thing that came and sat with a creator to inspire them, literally as a muse. And that's where we get these ideas of when creativity strikes, right? It's the genius is coming to sit with you, and you don't know how long your genius is going to be there with you. So you want to move and create as soon and as quickly as possible while your genius is here. And the genius will come and go. And a lot of people believe that certain works were never finished because the genius never returned, right, to a lot of these creators. And regardless of your opinions on the kind of mythological side of that, I think there's an important lesson to be learned in that your purpose is not a part of you like your arm is, right? Like, it's not this kind of thing that is attached to you, but it is connected to you. And in that way, it is always going to feel like we don't quite have control of it, like we don't quite have a good grasp of it. But I think part of the genius of this idea of the genius not being a part of the self is that it removes the ego from it. If you create a master work, it allows you to recognize that you are a conduit for something bigger, better, greater than the self. But you also are the channel for that to be spoken through. You are still a very active part of this. And I think the relationship to purpose needs to be similar. It does, in my belief, stem from you. It is an internal guiding. However, it is a guiding, and you're not always going to feel it. I have this analogy that I've used a lot, that purpose is like true north on a compass. And, you know, when the arrow is kind of trying to find its way and it zooms past true north, you'll feel like that ping of like, oh, what was that? And you're kind of constantly trying to get back to true north. But sometimes you'll be going and spinning around in circles, and, you know, compasses get lost. That is a thing that happens where someone sets a magnet on it, or I don't know. There's a way that compasses get messed up, and I'm forgetting exactly how. It's been a while since since my compass training is what I was about to say. I technically did have compass training growing up, that's a whole thing. But I don't quite remember how that happens. But it does happen that compasses will get confused. How do you unconfuse your compass? It's not bad to be confused. This actually goes back a little bit to what we were talking about on Monday. Like when you're a little kid and you do a somersault under the water and you forget which way is up, it's not really in just breaking through the surface that something is occurring. You're learning which way is up as you're kind of doing the struggling thing as you go, right? And it's not comfortable, and it's kind of scary, and it kind of feels weird. But you also know you're going to be okay, because you will break through the surface. Don't focus on just regaining control. Don't focus on just unconfusing the compass. Bells. Focus on what it feels like when you're spinning in circles. That sounds like a weird thing to say, but what is the experience of that? I think so often when we're trying to put our finger on something or nail it down, or like I need something to like make sense of this. Like I need a formula. I need a clear picture. I need a sentence to describe this. We get so lost in trying to get to the specificity that we're missing the forest for the trees. If something was able to be kind of reduced to a shorthand in that way, that shorthand would not be able to actually describe the experience. But spinning in a circle with a compass kind of gives rise to the experience of what it's like to be creative. to try and to be confused, but to, oh wait, I think we got something, and kind of go that way, and then it's like, oh wait, actually maybe the compass was confused. Let's go back. And then it's like, oh wait, did north just move? Has that ever happened to someone when you're hiking and you're like, wait, I could have sworn north just moved. And it's like, obviously it didn't. The North Pole's not moving, but something funky happens, right? So give yourself grace through this process and know that clinging to control is only reducing your purpose. Staying open allows for its expansion. To move into our mantra today, inspired by the Emperor and in reverse, the Emperor in reverse, and our theme of purpose that manifests as creativity and anything else that you may have called in. Our mantra today is, I embrace confusion. There is something to be learned in that as well, and even though it feels unmooring, it's like being in a wave pool and like jumping and kind of letting the wave take you, right? There's something fun about just being launched. Let your purpose launch you. Okay, here in a second, I'm going to invite you to take another deep breath with me. And if it feels good to do so, when we do, on the exhale, we will repeat our mantra of I embrace confusion. Okay, whenever you're ready, take this deep breath in. And exhale, repeating, I embrace confusion. For our practice today, few options here. One, if you can, if you feel comfortable doing so, do a somersault. I was just thinking about that, like the doing a somersault underwater, and I'm like, I cannot remember the last time I did a somersault. I do remember it really hurt my back though, so I'm probably gonna lay down some blankets to do one. But it's like, when was the last time we did something silly and goofy like that? And I think that's part of the embracing confusion is like, yeah, I don't know which way is up, so let's just spin a little bit and enjoy this moment while we have it, because eventually it won't be here anymore. We will fall back into clarity or into control, into understanding, and we'll lose the magic and the beauty of the confusion here. So do a somersault or maybe a cartwheel or something to kind of spin around, or, you know, maybe it is just spinning with your arms outstretched in a field or something to kind of physically embody this feeling. If this physical practice isn't available to you, I recommend doing a Zentangle or doing both. A Zentangle is a type of doodle where you draw a random little squiggle all over the page, and there are a few different methods. The one that I was originally taught was within each little pocket that you create, draw a different pattern or kind of doodle. But there's also a form of Zentangle that is just drawing lines out from it over and over and over again. So I'll put a few links for Zentangle info in the description for a starting place, but it's a really great meditation technique that is embodied, and it's fun, and they end up really beautiful too. Thank you so very much for being here with me today. I hope you enjoyed today's ritual. If you did, thank you, and please share it with someone else that you think would also enjoy it or maybe needs to hear this message today. And I'm very much looking forward to seeing you right back here on Monday. Our Daily Ritual is a podcast by the Cohere Collective that helps you build purpose and coherence into your daily routine. Wherever you are listening or watching, please consider subscribing, giving us a like, 5-star rating, and or a review to support this work. And let me know what you like. Let me know what is helping you with your coherence. A big thank you to Podington Bear for our Daily Rituals theme music, and as always, I hope you feel like you are living more coherently. Until next time, love.